welcome to a spirit animal message. And if tonight's your birthday, I'd like to start off by saying happy birthday. And you hear my cockatiels chirping away. So it's like what is that? The trumpets, because they're the symbol. Recently, I've been delving deeper in the symbolism for cockatiel, and it's funny that I've had them in my life, my entire life, on and off. They are this spirit animal for liberation of your spiritual beliefs, spiritual understandings, awakenings. Like they are a symbol. They're the symbol, this greater symbolization of spiritual awakening. And so right away, we're gonna start out with some notes. So wild turkey was this energy today. I woke up this morning, and as I was going outside, I immediately noticed across the street in like some bushes, some wild turkeys. And then they like, I went to my house, and they were in an area where I thought they would just like keep going, and then just like they were like hidden away. It's like I could see them, but unless you were like looking the angle I was, nobody could see them. And then I went inside for a second, came back out, and they were crossing the street all of a sudden. And I sat and I watched them for a while, and they were just like really staying in one area where normally I don't see them do that. Usually there's this trail where the animals around my house, they have this like hidden trail where they can walk along it and not be seen, and they don't have to interact with like the road of any kind. It's a nice little setup they got going. But these turkeys came out, and they continued to pass in front of the cars several times. So I was like, I wonder what that means, wild turkey, right? So I looked it up, and it is the symbolism for abundance. And so there was this, it's like there's this message in the wind of greater leveling up in the abundance in your life, however that would associate. So I wrote down 10 of Pentacles because that's this energy of abundance. And if it's an energy that's in the wind, that means it's a vibration that is being embodied but not actualized just yet. Then there was this energy of rainbows. Like when I was setting up for this reading, I grabbed this, and it was just like this rainbow coloring. I thought of the coloring behind me, the rainbow. Something about that vibrancy of the rainbow. And let's just keep going. Impressing people and not even aware of it. Too busy impressing yourself to be aware of someone else being impressed by what you're doing. And it's not to say that you're being naive, or you're not being like egoistic. It's like you're so humble and happy and blissful with what you're doing that if anybody were to come forward and let you know that you're impressing them in some way, you would be like, oh my, when it happens, and it's like it triggers the remembrance of how you're impressing yourself even, and it's like a light of like, yeah, I know. It's like, like, don't even get me started. Like, I know I can't believe the way this is happening, and it would just be a very mutual energy exchange that would just level up the excitement within yourself, because that's how you're feeling also. Starting a path that's furthering your capacity to wield your sword of communication more effectively. So the way something with communication is already, like, before I even have any cards, this was me delving deep and not even picking up too much, but just playing around with what I could before any of the spirit animal cards. And I apologize if I'm not giving you my direct attention, but I would just like to make sure I don't miss any of my notes, because my birds can be very distracting all by themselves, and then my own self talking to myself, there's this distraction. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm talking to you even though you're not in front of me, audience. So so there's this let's see, unknowingly mending connections. Also unknowingly mending connections that were out of harmony, out of your hands. Abundance and prosperity energy is building. Fully stepping into a leadership role, not allowing momentary mishaps to stop you. It may, because I think of just momentary mishaps where it kind of like for me today, there was moments where it felt like I was, because of things that I like thinking that you know what's going on, and sometimes it's like our ego gets in the way of us, and it's like that can kind of bring you down in a way where it's like you're like in between, you're like in this in between, like closing a cycle and entering a new cycle in your life, and you feel this right now. So there might be moments where because you feel this, it's like the excitement to start this new beginning, because you sense it coming. You can't really maybe pinpoint it, but you sense it, can lead to just weird distractions, weird things that may be you trying to control a situation. And it's like the divine is like, yeah, well, I know what's going on. And there's this energy of like, remember to be playful, remember to, and you're here to have fun in your existence and be that creative version of yourself. There was this moon card I pulled actually first this reading. This was the first thing I actually had pulled, and it's a time for healing. Balsamic moon, suggesting past is in the past. A bright future is beckoning. Before the universe arrives to meet you in that divine timing that you believe anything is possible. Thinking we know the plan can be a form of control and self-sabotage. Patience is being tested. Remember to enjoy the journey. And you're still healing. And I feel like that's another energy. Like, remember that there's anything that you need to heal within yourself, anything that you need to face within yourself. Now is the time to do that, because when you're shifting into a new version or a new reality of yourself and you're leaving one, be sure that you are closing that cycle in a whole and complete way, fully healing yourself, fully being patient with yourself, in a way that others can't be. Like, there's in that state where you're slowly becoming this shift of energy. There's this, time for consistency within, spiritual practices, meditation. There's when you're leaving a cycle and entering a new cycle, your routine doesn't look fixed. Like, how when you have a routine, because you've been doing it for so long that, your whole day is just this whole and complete harmony. Really, your momentum towards everything is exponentially high because, you've been doing the cycle that you're in for some time. Well, that's not your reality right now. And that's where the patience comes in, is because realizing when you're leaving a cycle and entering a new one, there's this in between where things aren't exactly, perfect in every shape, way, and form. However, the space that's being given to you to help you get that clarity and to truly heal, anything that had been lingering from the past, and close out anything, and being able to focus within in a way that actually brings you to that alignment to a divine path, a greater vision for yourself, for your future, a version of yourself that you can admire because you're embodying passion, creativity in ways that spark fulfillment and joy and bliss and happiness in your life. And being able to maintain yourself in a way where you're staying in tune with your mental, emotional, and spiritual sides, so that, you know, you're able to, you don't have to stuff things. I think of people when they're, you know, when they're facing a lot of challenges, they'll do things that will stuff what's wrong or things that are bothering them, versus like, you know, going within and daily, you know, purging that stuff. It's like it just gets piled on, piled on, piled on, piled on, and then it gets redirected to places that it's not meant for, simply because we're not facing this. So this is not, that's not you. This is not the energy of people that are coming here. You know, you're facing yourself on a daily basis, even if it's challenging. Because I think of, you know, sometimes a spiritual practice, or not a spiritual practice, but not just a spiritual practice, I mean, but a new way of being. When you're used to an old way of being, it takes time to, you know, emerge into that full new, because you're still healing from things that had been going on in your life, which is why this is such a giftful time. You're closing out a cycle that was not as in harmony within who you actually are, and you're entering in a big new cycle in life that is in more alignment with who you actually are. And right now you're just embodying like the vibration of it. So the reality of what you're entering, it's like it's hinting to you. It's like your peripheral vision of your higher sight, which is where you get the signs and synchronicities from the universe hinting, you know, when you're on the right path, or, you know, where you need to fine tune yourself to stay on that path. Let's see. Then we have, we're going to start out with Owl. Which Owl, I also have Owl because I saw this image right here for the owl, right? And you see this like triangle. And I thought of like the elements. Let me just put this down in front of my look guy here. So we got the water, earth, air, fire, earth, water, air. So there's all these, there's symbolism for the elements within the triangle, right? And I thought of how this energy represents wisdom, greater wisdom. I think of the goddess Athena, how she was this goddess of wisdom and greater knowing, greater knowledge. And I have this little pendant that I actually got from the Parthenon when I went to Nashville, the complete replica of it, and got to see her in person. So this energy of greater wisdom, of spiritual knowledge that you're connecting with. It's like the elemental spirits of different dimensions of time and space, of different dimensions of light. You could be connecting with, which is you're open and receiving to the deeper inner nature of yourself and of the world around you. The forces of creation and the interconnectedness of the physical and spiritual realms is what I was feeling. For Earth, the elemental energies can represent stability, grounding, and the physical body. Air symboling intellect, communication, and movement. Fire represents passion, transformation, and energy. And then water. Water embodies emotions, intuition, and adaptability. Otherworldly. It's like you're going to be shifting an entire new world. I feel it's like however your life is now, it's going to be like something of leveling up. So it's all about leveling up. So wherever you are now, just know that you're leveling up. So owl, wisdom, learning, protection, messenger, magic, night vision, silent flight, revealer of secrets, shapeshifter. A time of unveiling, truth will be made known. So it's a time of unveiling. There's truth of a spectrum, so that it's not like one singular truth. It's truth of various of a lot. There's not just one fixed truth. So truth will be made known. Inner vision may be strongest at night. Also was this, it's like I think of that inner vision, that inner connection with, you know, the unconscious. I think of how we have the capacity to use so much consciousness. That's the consciousness that's above the water, like an iceberg. And then you have the consciousness below the water. That's like the stuff that's not exactly at the surface. However, it's all connected. So it's like whenever you're using your mind for one thing, you know, a lot of things take the back seat, and it's in various levels of consciousness. And being in more flow with those various levels of consciousness and subconscious, you're at your best at night. Let's see. So then we have sea turtle. And we'll put the moon up here. Sea turtle. Patience. Slowing down. Slow and deliberate. A slow and deliberate pace. Mindfulness. Inner vision. Exploring and understanding your own emotions through a breathing habit that's gaining momentum, allowing you to easier enter states of flow. Success, contentment, achievement, perseverance, protection, survival, longevity, good luck, heightened senses, patience, enjoy life. Turtle embodies do not regret. They have no need to impress or complain. They remain in flow, symbolizing conscious detachment, to remain in flow and harmony. So I was looking, when I was pulling this card, I was looking at the bubbles that were coming out of the sea turtle is what got my attention. So I was thinking about how they breathe and how they do have to surface. They have to surface from the sea to take a breath, even though they can stay underwater for this long period of time, but they still have to surface for a breath, right? And then I looked that up, and it gave me this this pull towards you're working on your breath work. It's like breath work, which is the great work, which is leading you down or unveiling a greater path that you were always destined for. Okay. And then we have miracles. Hummingbird miracles. You are the joy bringer. You bless the world with positivity and love. Energy soars on your shining wings. Spread the miracle of happiness. So I think about what the hummingbird, when anyone sees a hummingbird, you know, aside from the fact that it's saying this miracle energy, they are this emblem for happiness. You see them and they just bring this smile to your face because they seem otherworldly on this level, just because of the way that they move. It's like it feels like they're just like able to shift in between dimensions of light in their own, like they're here in this plane of existence, but I just feel like they're just like this one creature that can just ever so slightly, but not in a way where it's I don't know how to explain this and have it make sense, but the reflections in this card is what brought my attention. So it's like, to me, this card is symbolizing for the people that are coming here. I think of how we have the dimensions of the mind, where we have the third dimension of mind, we have the third, fourth, and fifth dimension of mind, which is a way of, it's not being on another planet. It's being on a level of consciousness. And it's like, I feel like there's this shifting kind of back and forth between dimensions of consciousness. It's like you're entering one level of consciousness and leaving another level of consciousness. However, there's this like back and forth. It's like your being is still working on healing the past and opening up for the future, which is what the healing is all about, so that you're ready to meet your new beginning. So there may be moments where you're kind of just shifting weirdly back to this old, like weird old patterns. It's just like the old, the world that you're closing, or the cycle you're closing is just like grasping on in weird ways, and it's actually meant to help mold you in this time moving towards this new beginning. And it's important to cultivate ways to remain as patient as possible in this in-between space. There's sisters that are playing back here. These are cockatiels, and this one, she has a splay leg condition, and I need to get her a surgery when I can. And the other one, her name is Vocals. So we got Guitar and Vocals, and they're siblings, and Vocals loves to just, mess with Guitar. And unfortunately, because she has a hard time with standing and things like that, she gets kind of bullied around because she has a hard enough time keeping herself like going and not have to defend herself so hard from her sister. But it's normal sister rivalry stuff, I've come to realize. So let me just... Hummingbird is this energy of miracles, right? So joy, love, aesthetics, beauty, ideals, delicate, agile, miracles, timelessness, positivity, energy moving in and out of dimensions of mind, which is something I just discussed. Excuse me. Orange juice. I'm drinking it. This cup my daughter got me, and she's always saying, "Mom, you're not using your cup. You're not using your cup." Well, Leia, my daughter, we named her Leia. I am using my cup. So, energy, okay. Working through shadow was this energy, because I saw this shadow. So it's like you're learning the shadow parts of yourself, which is what this time is about. It's like, I have this connection to Elsa right now from Frozen. And I think about when she comes into her power. I think about before she comes into her power and how it's chaos, right? Because she has no control over it. She's trying to pretend it doesn't exist, basically. It's misfiring all these ways because she's just trying to keep it bottled up as much as she can, because she's afraid of it in ways. She knows other people will be afraid of it. She knows that, she feels like it's something that she needs to just bottle up and like ignore, basically, because she's afraid of it, because she doesn't understand it. But then she gets to that place where she starts to, she gets to that place where something suddenly happens and she just lets it go, right? And she starts just using her powers without fear, which slowly and surely helps her balance out her abilities, which is natural to her. It's nothing that she can change. It is something that is natural to her. And once she faced that and stopped trying to bottle it all up, you know, the balance to it, the harmony to it, the acceptance for herself first, because that's where it needed to start, was her own self-acceptance. And then, you know, other people's acceptance is more in the second, because we should accept ourselves first. It's we're living our lives. No one else is going to live our lives for us. And if other people are accepting the way that they are, sometimes even when they should work on themselves, I think if somebody's working on themselves and they're accepting parts of themselves that are, you know, of energy that others can't understand, remembering that those that will find you. And that's when you'll find that right group to surround yourself with. Okay, so then we have cricket, and I thought of cricket because just as I was about to enter this night, we do have a lizard, and we do get crickets, and we do occasionally have a stray, you know, get out. But tonight it was funny because literally just as I was about to start, there was one that was right when I was getting ready in this weird spot. So I was like, I wonder what cricket means. I never looked up spiritual meaning of cricket. And then and it was just ironically, the where it was what made me think to add it to this reading, which it is this energy of good luck, prosperity, positive omen, believed to be a messenger that you're close to an auspicious win, lucking into something. It's not luck, it's your vibration being in resonance. So it's like you're in resonance to something and you could be on this precipice to an auspicious win. So then we have sloth. Consider the smallness of your needs and treasure what you possess. So treasuring what you possess, treasuring what you have in the present moment, you're really it's like you're being purposefully still, intentionally still at times to gain clear perception. Because I think about how slow the sloth is, how it moves, but I think about what that would mean as far as its presence. It's very present when it's awake and it's in this moment, because being in that form of stillness, I think to when I had my birds were born, and I had to get so still mentally and emotionally because I had to drop and be so patient to not hurt this fragile baby bird that was like so tiny, and then to get food into it and then keep it going on a regular, 2 to 3 hour basis, and then maintain the patience, without sleep as much, with, other people, with just situations, and then to keep that pace and patience and stillness. It gave me this greater perspective of the present moment and how we potentially stuff the present moment, which is causing a form of unconscious to our existence, which means we're not existing. We're surviving because we're not conscious of our existence. If we're only partially conscious of our existence, then that's how that's how we're going to be remembered, right? Is that we didn't, because we have the capacity to do 10 times better than what we're doing. But if we're not healed properly in the present moment, and we're full of resentment, we're full of things that are slowing us down or giving us this perception to look at other people more than ourselves, then, that can it keep us from reaching greater potential, right? So right now you're in this energy of sloth, but it's in a positive aspect. Someone would see sloth and think of this negative of like laziness or whatever, but that's not what this is. This is sloth, patience, mindfulness for a diligent living, intentional stillness to gain clear perception. So, cheetah, a decision once made will be followed by unwavering action. So a decision once made will be followed by unwavering action. And I think of this cheetah and how quick it is, right? It's like once the cheetah has its, let's say it's a meal in sight, it hones in on its plan, right? And it's so quick. It's one of the fastest land animals on the planet, right? So it can get from where it is to where it wants to be that quick once it makes the decision as to what it wants. So I think about that energy. Like once you truly have the full view of things, that's how fast things are going to move, like this cheetah, lightning speed. And cheetah embodies speed, agility, grace, unwavering focus, the ability to move with purpose, and efficiency. And then we have Black Panther. Sensuality and passion stir beneath a cloak of secrecy. So, a time to reclaim your strength and power. You are an empathic, intuitive person, and your abilities are strong. Hidden desires, unspoken or acknowledged longings or fantasies, suppressing emotions, sensuality may be held back due to hinting at a deeper and a potentially more profound sense of self and connection with the world and others. So I think of that cloak of secrecy, sensuality. Maybe you've been single for a long time and it's like parts of yourself is being suppressed. And I think, or it doesn't have to be that. I think of fantasies being held back, or like passions, like not just like passions of purpose, sensuality. Like think about how attractive and passionate and beautiful we feel when we're embodying those parts of ourselves that fill us with that fulfillment, that add value to our own lives. But this also could mean not suppressing your sexuality in some fashion, holding yourself back in some way is what the sensuality and passion stir beneath a cloak of secrecy. So allowing it to emerge, facing that part of yourself, and exploring that shadow part of yourself so that you can meet it in the middle with balance. Another thing that happened today, and this is going to be a little weird. That's where we are right now, and that's what's fun. Weird is the place to be in my life. You think about all the people that embody themselves, no matter what anyone else thinks, and those people we can think off the top of our head are greatest of all time energies, right? Because they never stop being a version of themselves that, to a regular person might have been strange, but put them in the right place, the right time, and they are the world's inspiration and entertainment and guides in so many fashions, in so many ways. So there was this energy today where I had this thought of Harry Potter, and I thought of the Goblet of Fire. And I have this little emblem for Ravenclaw here, but I was thinking of Gryffindor for some reason at the time. But because of the I was thinking, well, that's what triggered it. I thought Gryffindor, and I was like, Harry Potter, and then I was like, the Goblet of Fire, and it's so much so that I had to watch the moment when Harry Potter's name comes out of the thing. So it's like there's this energy of being chosen for something. I really don't know how that would resonate, but like someone being chosen for something, and that could be, that can mean a lot of different things. So I just thought I'd put it out there of like your name being picked, or you being picked out of like a lot of people. I think of that auspicious when it's like you're picked for something. Okay, and then I really don't know how that would resonate, but I felt it did resonate to this, so I thought I'd put it out there. So you're starting out with this world energy, right? This is your starting point. And it looks like a portal of success. You see this Vesica Pisces, right? Which is when you do a circle and another circle and you do it in this way, they leave this like this shape, right? Which is like the energy of like the womb shape too. It's or the entry, like something being birthed. And it's like you're leaving an old world. This is like a portal. And you see how this person is coming through a portal. And it's almost like this person is leaving a world and emerging into a new world, right? So right now, this is your starting point. So this is like the precipice to where you shift into that new energy. Let's see, before I move on, a cycle is complete, shifting into a new world, into a new beginning of life. Feel proud of how far you've come. So remember to feel gratitude toward yourself. You know, something I thought of is, you know, think back, look at yourself in the mirror even, and, you know, tell yourself how thankful you are towards every frame of yourself that didn't give up till and got you to where you are. And thank those energies that stayed with you and guided you through this process and time. But just remembering to give that gratitude toward yourself, because so often, you know, we wait for other people to give us positive feedback, but remembering that you're always listening, we're always very suggestible, and remembering to give yourself those positive things toward yourself by giving yourself that gratitude. And since you're leaving an entire cycle of yourself and you're emerging to a leveling up of yourself, remembering to look at yourself and saying, you know, thank you so much for not giving up, and frame by frame, pace by pace, getting through anything that may have come through, that right or wrong, good or bad, you know, those type of things. The Queen of Cups, nurturing, focused, developing intuitive abilities, spending time with people that inspire you to grow, embracing inspiration and creativity to nurture your greater well-being. So you're emerging to this, you know, this is what's crossing you, emerging into this new beginning, and your focus is nurture, in this nurturing energy, and it's nurture for yourself, nurture for the world around you. The world itself it's like the universe itself is reflecting this nurture back at you. Abilities are developing quickly by utilizing or being them every day, you know, lifting those weights every day, spending time with people that inspire you. Think about that. Like if you're entering something, you're surrounding yourself with new people that are of the same vibration in some fashion, maybe through social media, where you're learning more about yourself through versions of you that are maybe, you know, leveled up a little bit more than you are, like the next level to the level you're moving into, or even beyond than that. And you're just surrounding yourself with a lot of people that support who you are, whether you have them in your immediate reality or they're just energies that surround you from a distance. And then we have the destiny, the goal, and we have this Queen of Swords, vibrancy within how you wield your sword of communication is like this goal of yours, is like this destiny of yours. Fully embodying a strong, assertive energy, not shying away from sharing wisdom with others, which is this Ace of Wands. It's like sharing wisdom that you learn every one, right? Because think of that one as the start of communication. So that's something that you, as this queen, through your feminine energy, you know, that intuition, that that subconscious part of ourselves, you know, you're wielding your sword of communication so in alignment with that energy of yourself, which is part of your destiny, is to share wisdom through your insight and experiences in some fashion, some with others. And then we have, in the distant past, the King of Wands. Taking strong, passionate, assertive energy towards things most important at this time. Feeling a momentum building around your confidence towards passions. Began to level up in big ways energetically. So I just feel like this is just where you are feeling, where you've been emerging. It's like this King of Wands. Yeah, that's just, and you began leveling up on the internal, is what I feel. And it's like, it was not just, it wasn't just the internal, it was the external too. It was like you embodied the masculine and feminine in a whole and complete way, where the masculine led the way, charted a path with the feminine connection, which is just that go-getter strength, ambition, determination, finances, not being afraid to embody your leadership, not being afraid to embody, you know, that sight for protection, which is this, I see money as protection, right? It's like you took your power back, is what I feel. It's like a greater and masculine man or woman, whoever you are, you began leveling up from the within in a big way. I sort of stumbled with my words on that one. Forgive me. So, I got just all sorts of stuff going on here. So moving into your future is this moon. What influences that coming into your future, which is this moon, which means things to be revealed, right? Or working with the universe on your dreams, because I feel like the moon is like the symbolism for dreams. So in the future influence, you're surrounded by energies that clear illusions, assist you on your dreams. Then with this position, we also have this 9 of Wands. So surrender It's like you've surrendered to the path that you're on. You know that you're being guided and you're in tune with your path. And then you have this Two of Cups also. So this could be, you know, the connections that you're going to be bringing in, or a specific connection that is of great importance, that is going to assist you and influence your journey moving forward in a great way, in a big way. It's like this is a divine partnership of some sort, standing ready to reveal truth to. This could be, you know, someone that comes out of nowhere, that or comes from behind, maybe behind the curtain. I think of someone who was maybe from a distance that you knew but didn't talk to, and they come forward in this surrender to tell you how they feel about you, which is this love energy. Also could be a potentiality, depending on how that resonates. Oh, I missed one. This was the recent past prior to this Two of Cups, which was this manifesting magician, manifesting creator inspired action, coming into power, working with nature and spirit, co-creating your reality with the universe. So meditations, possibly just cultivating intention, determination, focus, assertive, adaptable energy, being strategic and not allowing others to change your trajectory. You know, even if the world around you, environment, didn't support you, you decided to do what you could. If it meant just working through things within your mind, it built momentum. Gotta be the healthiest me. And I think of the symbols. We have earth, air, fire, water right here on right on this image, right? So it's like all the elements are present, the elemental spirits, all dimensions of time and space, all working with you, you working with them, you calling them, connecting with the entire universe, that unity consciousness, and working to working so that your universe, your future is coming for you versus you coming to it, which is like, I think about how some people just kind of frivolously live their lives and allow life to come to them versus come for them. Because if you're just allowing life to come to you as it comes to you, it's like you're handing over your existence to everything else. Like, here's my existence. I don't really, and not grasping your existence and saying, this is my existence living here and I'm going to enjoy it, basically. And not in a negative way, in a way that asserts you, so people don't box you into outdated ways of thinking. So then we have this is like a perspective, and the perspective is the satisfaction and abundance. Gratitude increases the flow of success, abundance in all areas in life, enjoying what you've accomplished. So this is the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. That's a huge energy for this. And this is the perspective that you're moving into. So you're going from where you're shifting realities. And then the very next card that represents a position or a perspective of yours is this wish fulfillment. So your wishes are being granted in this effortless and easy way, meeting the universe in this divine time by working on yourself in this positive, progressive way towards your dreams, towards your goals. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles, and this is your environment. So your environment is feeling, and this is like, I think of the Ten of Pentacles as a form of whole and complete abundance representation. Because this is the environment. And to see how this is like an extra, he has this external like vase he's adding these coins into just one at a time, and they're all glowing. But then he's glowing too. Like you see this glow, this shadow, but this glow from them. It's like your internal energy is this abundance, but also your external energy is this abundance. What you had been embodying, what you had been reflecting and perceiving but not see. It's like you saw but you didn't see. It's like now you see, now it's here, it's in your environment, you're embodying this. So your leveling up is now manifested into financial wealth, or a leveling up within your environment. This could mean that it's like having what you need for your life and your tribe. Then we have your inner emotions, which is this Six of Wands and then this Three of Wands. So you're feeling victorious, you're feeling successful, ready to embark on the next adventure. You're feeling, I wrote, feeling victorious about your expansion and growth, recognizing that you've accomplished, and I put dash because it would resonate to whoever comes here. It's like everyone could have a different, you know, everybody, their accomplishments, the gifts, whichever, those are, you know, specific to you. But that embarking on adventure, and feeling, you know, so proud of your victories, but being victory and also in this readiness to continue. You're ready to be this adventurous. You see the ships coming in, and this person looks like this ship is about to come in, and they're gonna go on this like adventure, right? That's what it looks like. And it's what you're feeling, and you're excited about these things. Excitement about life. You're excited about life. So then the results are this King of Swords, and I think about, we had the Queen of Swords come out, and that was more of your destiny. This is, and then we have the Page of Cups. So playfulness, love messages, emotional intelligence. This could be a partner of equal intellect, feeling playful and confident to be the authority for yourself. That's this other version of, it's like, this is this playful energy, and moving into the future, you feel confident about, confident to be the authority for yourself, wielding that sort of communication in a way where it's also embodying that masculine, assertive energy and confidence. There is this other side, and we saw the Two of Cups shortly ago, where you could be connecting to your divine partner, and there's love messages between you and this person. Okay, and then I would think we could do a 42, an ideal from Ma'at in daily life. This is the 42 ideals of Ma'at in daily life. I actually I'm going to do one moon card too before we go straight into the ideal. Just one. So a win-win outcome is forecast. And I think about last night's reading where I started out the reading with this song in my head, The Final Countdown. And then when I woke up this morning, I ran across this video of a woman who was also a tarot reader, or she didn't really use cards. I don't think, she did. She did use some tarot, but that's how she started the reading. And she had the same, and she had done it, I think, the day before, and it was the same message, the final countdown. So I had that message myself, and that I gave to the world, that I felt sensing. And then the next morning, today, I got this same message of the final countdown. She was singing the same song, and I was just like, whoa. A win-win outcast is forecast. And I think about that. She's reading for a collective. I'm reading for this collective. And I think about how, similar intuitive sparks of the action of sharing. This is energy in the air, right? And I loved seeing that I wasn't the only person sensing this in the air of this final countdown to auspicious, positive energy. So a win-win outcome. Full moon in Libra. So the things to be revealed to bring balance into your life, you win no matter what because of the work that you're putting in. So remembering that moving forward, if for whatever reason things, you aren't progressing in some fashion the way you feel like you'd want to, remembering that you're winning no matter what because of being who you are, which is yourself, which is sometimes not as easy as it may seem. To some people make it look easy. Which is when we try to make it look easy, sometimes that's when we can get imposter syndrome and cause stagnation for ourselves. Yeah, Patty. Which is my name, shortened. What's in the card? I do the best I can. I do the best I can. No, this is kind of weird. I feel like I didn't get it right. Let me just give the energies one more chance to give me something. I just feel like there's this pull of like not balanced energy. So I'm just going to give the cards another spin. Affirm that all life is sacred. And it's funny that this card came out because earlier I had shuffled the deck and this card came out for me earlier, and I wrote down just like one word or two words of one understanding of the Magnus Opus. I affirm that all life is sacred. Let me just put it up here so you can take a look. Let me see this dragonfly symbolizing transformation, which this is this energy of leaving a cycle and entering a new one. So 5. So, I affirm that all life is sacred. In Egyptian days, Egypt was called Kem, which translates to black earth and refers to the fertile soil of the Nile River Valley. It is believed that both chemistry, the study of the substances that form matter, and alchemy, the art of understanding the relationship between consciousness and matter, both find their roots in Kem's cradle of civilization. An alchemical understanding of the world lends itself to a vision of sacredness within all of life, with the idea that life itself is a byproduct of mind, with the understanding of mind being the soil of all that exists. Similarly, synchronous, the ancient Egyptian ethos places the pinnacle of the personality as a force of nature's soul. From the one mind, alchemically symbolized as a circle, emerges the square of the 4 elements of earth, air, fire, and water. Surrounding the square, we then find the triangle of the 3 alchemical principles that govern the all of it all. Sulfur, which is the soul, consciousness, awareness. Mercury, which is spirit, mind, and salt, which is the body, structured thought. The synthesis of symbols is what is referred to as the Philosopher's Stone, the elixir of life that unlocks immortality, the greatest goal, the magnus opus. The magnus opus is the great work of an artist, and when analyzing life with an idealized perspective, we can find the art within the natural world to be nothing short of sacred. Human beings have the potential to be the greatest pattern of recognition machines. Neural networks activated through experience, memory, imprinting, consciousness with coded language. Nature can be a great activator of enhanced perception and the embodiment of the force within the source of it all. The lattice of life, the effect of soul as the actuating cause. Once the pattern is understood and we find fluency in the language of consciousness and alchemical code, we can find the magnum opus materialized. Nature's potions and poisons are equally potent, but with the wisdom of an alchemist, even the most poisonous forms of life can be beneficial when the elements are properly manipulated into a medicine. The same is true when it comes to philosophy and the art of transforming words into golden wisdom. If the light is within you, the light of the world will come alive and reveal itself. If the spirit is refined, the soul will enter. If you embody the ideal of sacred life, the foundation of your reality becomes hallowed ground, and celestial consciousness can be seen and received infinitely as you appreciate and affirm the art of your unique expression within what is infinitely expressed from age to age eternally. And that was a beautiful ending. I think how it mentions the earth, air, fire, water. And that, I think, is the biggest reason why it was just like, nope, this isn't the card. Nope, this isn't the card. And it was just like, okay, try one more time. Because I put it down and I got this pull. And it was like this resistance. Like, no, that's not it. And I love how it fell into this alignment. Even though there was a mishap, pacing myself so that I can clearly get that higher instincts tuning in to the present, helping me to guide and navigate this reading as best I can to get that clearer message. We allowed the energy to allowed ourselves to reset again, not thinking that I knew better, and doing that. So I pray this message assists anyone on their journey, and there's some insight on your forwards and on your in your path and in your lives. Thank you for coming to this channel. Feel free to like and subscribe and comment. I love hearing people comment, tell me about your synchronicities in your life, you know, anything. I love to hear from everyone. And thank you, and have a beautiful life.